Honorable Chair, I rise to report that a quorum does exist for the Finance and Public Accounts Committee to commence business.
Thank you very much, the clerk. Honorable members, it's very important that quorum does exist for the Finance and Public Accounts Committee to commence business. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. And those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, welcome to the meeting, and GRA as well. Before us, we have the agenda. It reads: prayer, introduction of participants, administration of code of affirmation, presentation of the 2021 annual activity reports, unaudited financial statements of Government Revenue Authority, GRA, and any other business. Can any honorable member move that we adopt the agenda as it is?
I move to adopt the agenda as it is.
It has been moved and seconded that we adopt the agenda as it is. Those in favor, please say aye. And those not in favor, please say no. Here's that. On that note, the agenda has been adopted. We can proceed with the second item on the agenda that has to do with introduction of participants. I think GRA is well represented here. Even the regions are represented. Thank you. That shows your concern and commitment to your report. For our institution, we struggle even for the chairperson of the report to come. By the way, we will proceed with the introduction. To begin with my humble self, I'm Alhaji Esdabo, the chairperson of the committee. Members?
I'm Suleiman Jamme, member of this committee. I'm
Honorable Keba Tumani Sane, member to this committee, and Nam Fufuli Jaro.
Honorable Ahajimo, the vice chair of the committee, member of Osalo.
Honorable Yaya Gasamako, member.
SMS?
Dr. Ayub, SMS.
Sering Marjal, Director of Audit, National Audit.
GBP. From video, extra services, Augustus.
Yes, let's proceed.
My name is Siri Brahmin, Deputy Director, HR GRA.
My name is James Chata, Deputy Director, Internal Audit,
Good afternoon. I'm Mumudu Jallo, Deputy Director of Finance and Accounting, GRA.
Mr. S.R. Jallo, Deputy Commissioner General and Head of the Domestic Taxes Department.
Good afternoon. My name is S.P. Dampa, Deputy Director of Finance and Accounting.
Good afternoon. My name is Yanko Badabo. I'm the Commissioner General, Gambia Revenue Authority. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Musa Bashiri. I'm a board member at GRA and also standing in for the board chair, who is currently out of the country.
Good morning. I'm Miguel, of course, of GRA.
Good afternoon. My name is Yahya Mane, Director of Technical Services.
Good afternoon. My name is Jaro, stepping to this finance as a board.
Yes,
Good afternoon. I'm Deputy Director of Planning and Taxation.
I am the Deputy Director of Policy Planning and
I am Usman Khan, Head of Corporate Affairs.
Good afternoon. I am Musa Sedi, Deputy Director of IGMIH.
Good afternoon. My name is Hassan. This is Finance and Accounting Manager, Revenue Accounting.
Good afternoon. My name is Ali Obite. I'm the Director of Enterprise Risk Management and IT.
Good afternoon. My name is John Gomez. I'm the Director of Internal Audit.
Good afternoon. I'm Alhaji Seyfuddin, former Director of Finance and now a consultant for GRA.
Good afternoon. I am Sheikh Jankebe, Procurement Manager, Gambia Revenue Authority.
Good afternoon. My name is Ahmad Bishu, Legal Officer, Gambia Revenue Authority.
Honorable, can you introduce yourself?
Honorable Patman, the member of the committee.
Thank you very much, honorable members, SMS and GRA for the introduction. We can proceed with the next item that has to do with the administration of oath or affirmation to be administered by the clerk of the committee. We do it collective. Yeah, let's do it collective. Whoever will testify will be making any response or clarifications? You are not concerned?
So I'll begin with the pronoun I. Then after the I, you mention your individual name. I. Do hereby affirm that I will speak the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, nothing but the truth. So help me.
Thank you very much. We can proceed with the fourth and the main item. It has to do with presentation for the 2021 annual activity reports and audited financial statements of GRA. At this juncture, let me welcome the chairperson or reps and the GRA team to this very important meeting, the presentation of the reports of GRA that has been done, and then the presentation will be formally done, and the committee will take time to review, and then we'll be returning back, hopefully, I'm not sure where tomorrow. Yeah, that will be communicated later for the consideration and possibly adoption. The format of the presentation, the chairperson or rep will do the formal introduction, and after the introduction, to whom they will delegate to do the presentation. First, the audited financial statement, and then the management data, and finally the activity report. Over to the chairperson or rep of the board.
Good afternoon. As I intimated earlier, I am Musa Bashiri, a board member, and I'm standing in for the chairperson of the GRA, who is presently out of the country. The Honorable Chair of FPAC, members of FPAC committee, the GRA management here present, representative of GRA external auditors here present, representative of GPPA, subject matter specialists here present, members of the press, and all other protocols duly and respectfully observed. Good afternoon to you all. Honorable Chair, I would like to begin my statement by stating that one of the core mandates of GRA as a revenue collection agency is to promptly assess, collect, and account for all revenue due to government in a fair and transparent manner, according to the revenue laws. The distinguished author, Gordon Sanders, once said, Your reputation is what others think of you, but character is what you are. However, revenue mobilization is a complex matter under our cultural setting, in that many see non-compliance toward their tax obligation as normal. In such an environment, then, the enforcement of revenue laws becomes a daily occurrence, which in itself is both challenging and resource intensive. Honorable Chair and members of the FPAC, we can therefore all appreciate the magnitude of the task assigned to the Gambia Revenue Authority as the main revenue collecting body of government. Honorable Chair, the GRA, having been operating as a single revenue administration since 2007, continue to account for most of government recurrent budget on an annual basis. The average annual revenue growth for the period 2007 to 2021 stood at 11%. This feat in revenue mobilization has given government greater leverage in driving its development agenda forward. To further strengthen the gains in revenue mobilization and administration, the GRA has continued to implement international best practices in revenue administration, as well as honor regional international protocols under ECOWAS, World Customs Organization, Africa Continental Free Trade, Africa Union, Africa Tax Administration Forum, and World Trade Organization, such as the Trade Facilitation Agreement, amongst others. Moreover, GRA continued to prioritize its digitalization drive among other key reforms outlined in the 4th Corporate Strategic Plan 2020 to 2024. All these reforms aimed to deepen the gains already registered in operational efficiency through the use of ICT, human capital development, infrastructure improvements, and tackling perennial non-compliance. Towards this end, the board continued to lend its support and guidance as management match towards the successful implementation of these reforms that will ease compliance and expand the tax base. Honorable Chair and members of FPAC, despite the onward trend in revenue mobilization for government over the years, some daunting operational and compliance challenges still remain despite the continuous efforts of GRA management and staff. These include, among others, the large informal sector, poor compliance culture, material, human and infrastructural gaps, and incomplete automation of all revenue administration processes. Most of these challenges require investment and strengthening of tax legislations. I will borrow from the words of Albert Einstein when he said, "We cannot solve a problem from the same consciousness that created it. We must learn to see the world anew." And this is why the GRA is prioritizing digitalization amongst other key reforms to enhance revenue collection. Consequently, as board members, we also solicit the full support of National Assembly through this committee for increased resource allocation and timely approval of revenue legislations. In conclusion, Honorable Chair, I would like to end my statement by encouraging everyone to see payment of taxes as a responsibility through which they are being part of the fabric of our country and contributing towards the common good. On that note, Honorable Chair, with your permission, I would like to invite the Commissioner General of GRA to make his statement. Thank you all for your kind attention.
We are beg that the Commissioner General will come in when we have to do the presentation of the activity report. There you can make your comment. As I said, the presentation will take this form. After the introduction by the chair, and then we'll go to the financial statement. Then to whom you delegate who will do the statement, the presentation of the financial statement. And in doing so, we want it to be summarized.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Chairperson of FPAC, members of FPAC, subject matter specialists, staff of the National Assembly here present, the board of directors of GRA, the top management and senior management of GRA, the auditors present, GPPA, the media, and the other staff of GRA here present. Good afternoon to you all. I'm going to present the financial statement of the Gambia Revenue Authority for the year ended 31st December 2021. In the interest of time, I want to present the primary statements of the financial statement, which are the statement of financial position, the statement of financial performance, the statement of changes in equity, and the cash flow statement. But at first, I want to state that the GRA Acts require the directors to prepare the financial statements for the financial period which give a true and fair view of the state of affairs of the authority and of each surplus and deficit for the period.
Can you direct us to the page?
That's on page 7 of the financial statement.
Just go straight to the financial statement.
Okay. On that note, we go to page 12 of the financial statement, where you have the first primary statement, that is the statement of financial performance as of 31st December 2021. The first item on the statement of financial performance is the revenue of the authority. In 2021, the authority recorded a revenue of 595,718,000. Compared to 2020, it was 535,795,000, a growth of 11%. Then we go to the expenses. Under the expenses, the first category is administration cost. In 2021, it was 99,193,000. Compared to 2020, it was 64,447,000. Personnel cost in 2021 was 280,415,000. Compared to 2020, was 259,707,000. Operational cost in 2021 was 134,914,000. Compared to 2020 was 97,073,000. Finance cost. It was 33,000 in 2021, whilst in 2020 it was 56,000. Audit fees in 2021 was 468,000, and it was the same amount in 2020. Depreciation charge in 2021 was 41,020,000. Compared to 2020 was 32,698,000. Total operating expenses for 2021 was 556,044,000. Compared to 2020 was 454,449,000, a growth of 22%. Other income in 2021 was 5,709,000. Compared to 2020 was 4,965,000. Surplus for the financial year 2021 was 45,383,000. Compared to 2020 was 86,311,000, a decrease of 47%. We move on to the next page, that's on page 13, where we have the next primary statement, that is the statement of financial position as of 31st December 2021. This is where we have the assets, equity, and liabilities of the authority as of 31st December 2021. Under the asset category, we have the first item, that is the non-current assets, where we have the property, plant, and equipment. As of 31st December 2021 was 661,922,000. Compared to 2020 was 638,158,000. Intangible assets in 2021 was 16,446,000. Compared to 2020 was 14,258,000. Total non-current assets as of 31st December 2021 was 678,368,000. Compared to 2020 was 652,416,000, a growth of 4%. Current assets Trade and other receivables in 2021 was 78,709,000, whilst in 2020 was 64,346,000. Cash and bank balance in 2021 was 120,306,000, compared to 2020 was 88,381,000. Total current assets was 199,015,000 in 2021, whilst in 2020 was 805,143,000, a growth of 9%. Equity and liability. Total assets in 2021 was 877,384,000, compared to 2020 was 805,143,000. Equity and liability. We have capital and reserve. Capital reserve on establishment in 2021 was 434,225,000, and it was the same amount in 2020. Accumulated surplus in 2021 was 399,225,000, and compared to 2020 was 353,842,000. Total equity in 2021 was 833,450,000, compared to 2020 was 788,067,000, a growth of 6%. Liabilities. Trade and other payables in 2021 was 43,934,000, compared to 2020 was 17,076,000. Total equity and liability as of 31st December 2021 was 877,384,000, whilst in 2020 was 805,143,000, an increase of 9%. Then on page 14, we have the next primary statement, that is the statement of changes in equity. In this statement, what it shows is the movement of reserve from 2020 to 2021. And the only movement was the surplus of 45,383,000 as at 31st December 2021. Moving on to the next page, that is on page 15, where we have the cash flow statement. This statement shows whether the authority has enough liquid cash to pay its dues and then invest in assets. As of 31st December 2021, operating surplus before movement in working capital was 80,694,000, compared to 2020 was 114,082,000. Movement in working capital in 2021 was 93,189,000, compared to 2020 was 124,083,000. You have cash flow from investing activities. The net cash flow used by the authority in investing activities as of 31st December 2021 was 61,263,000, compared to 77,019,000 in 2020. Cash and cash equivalent as at the end of the year 31st December 2021 was 120,306,000, compared to 2020 was 88,381,000. Then we move to page 16, where we have notes to the financial statement. Sorry. Can you repeat? Can you repeat?
I said for notes we leave that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
On that note, that's the end of the presentation.
Thank you very much. Can we proceed with the management later?
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Yes.
You want to start us with the auditor's opinion?
Opinion, yes.
Please refer to page 9 of the financial statements.
Page 9.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Independent auditors report to the board members of the Gambia Revenue Authority. Auditor's opinion. We have audited the accompanying financial statements of the Gambia Revenue Authority, centered on pages 12 to 24. It comprises of the statement of financial performance, statement of financial position, the statement of changes in equity, the statement of cash flows, and notes to the financial statements, including a summary of significant accounting policies applicable to the authority. In our opinion, the financial statements give a true and fair view of the financial position of the authority as at 31st of December 2021, and of its financial performance and its cash flows for the year then ended, in accordance with the generally accepted accounting principles and in line with the requirements of the GRA Act 2004, amended 2010, signed Augustus Strong, dated 25th of January 2023. Kindly refer to the management letter report for the year ended 2021, page 4.
Let's proceed.
Observation. As of 31st of December 2021, we noted a total net book value of land amounting to 374.463 million. Based on our assessment of the values, we noted these values were dating back to 2007, which is 16 years ago, excluding the Brikama addition in 2021. We are of the view that management should look into a revaluation to ensure that the land values reflected in the financial statements reflects the market value as listed below. Recommendation. We recommend the management should look into the above and conduct a revaluation of the lands owned to the authority to ensure that the land values in the financial statements reflect recent market values.
Management, you'll be doing the response tomorrow, or the day scheduled for consideration. Sorry for that.
Kindly refer to page 7. Sunday receivables GSM levy collection, grade 2 observation. Following our test of details on the authority's Sunday receivable balance, it was noted the authority entered into an arrangement through the letter from the Office of the President, dated 30th of March 2015, as reference stated, regarding the collection of the GSM levy. The letter also specifies that whatever amount collected will be distributed between GRPS and GRA at a ratio of 95 to 5%. However, we have noticed the following closing balances relating to the 5% GSM levy due to the authority but yet to be settled or recovered for the current year ending dating back to 2017 as listed below. Point 3, page 9. Staff loans, vehicle loans disbursed, grade 3 observation. Upon our compliance test, we have noticed from section 1103 of the Staff Service Rule, 5th edition, vehicle loan subsection D, stating that a bill of sale must be tendered to the authority in the case of a loan to purchase a motor car or motorcycle. However, the bill of sale in respect of the following vehicle loan disbursements were not provided for our review as listed below. During discussions with management, it was mentioned that this only affects the 50-50 vehicle loans, which is not stated in the service rule book. Our recommendation. We recommend the management should ensure that the policy is further developed to ensure all loan practices within the authority in relation to the loan process is documented to ensure clarity and in line with recommended practice. Point 4, page 11, staff medical scheme, grade 3 observation. Upon our review on the medical scheme, we noted all employees of the scheme receive a medical card to be tendered at the various clinics, which forms the basis of admitting the patient, and the bill is later sent to the authority for settlement. During discussions with the responsible personnel on the cards, we requested for the medical cards of the staff that left the authority in 2021, but it was confirmed that the cards are destroyed once received from the ex-staff. We requested for documentation to ascertain that the cards were returned, but this was not available for our review. Recommendation. We recommend the management should further improve on the process by ensuring that a basic form is filled and signed when the cards are returned, when exiting the service of the authority, to ensure that there is a document trail to confirm that cards are returned. Page 12.5, terms of reference, the Finance and Audit Risk Committee, grade 3 observation. During our review on the FPAC with regard to the oversight function compliance review, we have noticed an inclusion of the Director of Technical Services, Director of Enterprise Risk Management, and IT having added to the FPAC. We further noted that the chairperson directed the secretary of the FARC to develop a terms of reference of the FARC given its expansion. We requested for the TOR, but this was not provided by management. Recommendation. We recommend management and the board to develop a detailed TOR covering all aspects of the FARC committee to ensure objectives are achieved as per expected deliverables. Point 6, internal audit, page 13, observation. The following issues were noted upon our review on the authority's internal audit department. 1, the responses in the internal audit reports. We noted responses are incorporated in all reports. However, it does not state the given timeline to implement audit findings, and the implementing department or personnel is not stated. Point 2, date of completion of the final performance audit report. We noted that the internal audit reports of the Gambia Revenue Authority GRA for the financial year ended 31st of December 2021 was dated 3rd of October 2022, which is 10 months after the year end, which is late considering timely reporting is a key for the internal audit function of the authority. Point 3, quarterly internal audit reports. Upon our request for the internal audit reports, we were not provided with the quarterly reports to ensure that the reports are in line with the approved work plan of the authority. Our recommendation is, we recommend the responses to the timelines and the responsible personnel, which will further assist the department in ensuring findings raised are addressed on a timely basis. The unit should ensure financial reports are concluded and finalized on a timely basis for timely implementation by various departments. Quarterly reports should be provided, which will be in line with the quarterly annual work plan for adequate monitoring between the reports and the approved work plan of the authority. And point 7 is just a review on the previous period findings. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Dr. Stone, regular members, let us go to the end of the presentation. For the financial statement as well as the management letter, and the last presentation has to do with the active report. I now invite the Director General to lead us in the presentation of the active report, as I said earlier, in a summary form.
Thank you very much. Message well noted. Honorable Chairperson of the FPAC Committee, honorable members of the FPAC Committee, the Chairperson overseeing the Chairman Board, the Board of Directors of GRA, all the GRA board members here present, subject matter specialists, representative of the external auditors here present, representative of GPPA, GRA management and staffs here present, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon to you all. We are here in your midst today on behalf of the GRA management and staff, as the chairperson of the GRA board alluded to present the GRA 2021 annual activity report and financial statement to this august body. At this point, it is important to state that the financial statement we are presenting today is based on the subvention received to run the affairs of the authority, and not on the revenue collected for the government. The revenue collected by the authority are being presented to this august body by the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs through the Office of the Accountant General as part of the overall government revenue and expenditure statement. Honorable Chairman and members of the FPAC, Gambia Revenue Authority as a semi-autonomous body is mandated to administer the revenue laws of the Gambia by assessing, collecting, and accounting for all revenue due to the government in a fair and transparent manner, whilst providing efficient and effective systems for compliance. The establishment of the authority brought together the former Department of Central Revenue, Domestic Taxes Department now, and Customs and Excise to enhance the efficiency in administration and reduce the compliance burden on taxpayers. The oversight responsibility of the managing the affairs of GRA is reposed on the Board of Directors, and to ensure that it provides a clear and consistent policy direction to the authority. The GRA Board meets at least once every month and has set up the Staff and Establishment and Finance and Audit Committee to support it in discharging its function effectively and efficiently. The day-to-day running of the authority is reposed on the Commissioner General, supported by the Deputy Commissioner General and other heads of department. Summary of the 2021 activity report. The year 2021 marked the second year of the implementation of the fourth GRA Corporate Strategy Plan 2020 to 2024. The plan focuses on the maximization of revenue collection, strengthening the trust and confidence of the government and the public on the services being provided by the authority, consolidating the gains already registered in HR modernization, institutional strengthening, building technical capacities in specialized areas, enhancing IT system for use for the revenue administration, further strengthening oversight mechanism and M&E functions for effective implementation of the corporate strategy during this plan period. The 2021 was a challenging for GRA in terms of revenue collection. The situation was that the advent of the COVID-19 pandemic, which turned out to be one of the most destructive health emergencies to have hit over the whole world. Its negative impact is beyond health as it touches all facets of human life development across countries, regions, the world, with the Gambia not an exception. On the revenue collections mandate, Mr. Chairman, the GRA was set a revenue performance target of 12.7 billion in 2021, which anticipated a nominal growth of 8.35% or 985 million over the 2020 actual revenue collection of 11.8 billion. This anticipated growth in revenue was premised on the improved efficiency in revenue administration, the lifting of the travel restrictions, and opening of the land borders and airspace, resumption of the tourism and hospitality industry, an increase in demand for goods and services after COVID-19 related lockdowns in 2020. Despite the challenges brought by the COVID-19 in 2021, the authority was able to meet its revenue target and thus achieve an important milestone. The authority collected a total revenue of 12.7 billion in 2021, which translated into 100% of its annual target. Compared to the total revenue collected in the corresponding period in 2020 of 11.8 billion, the total revenue collected in 2020 represents a nominal growth of 933.8 billion. The attainment of the 2025 revenue target by GRA equals to the 9 times in 10 years from 2012 to 2021. Now we go to the departments. The Customs and Excise Department total revenue collection for the year 2021 totaling to 7.093 billion. This total collection for CED, as the Customs and Excise, represent 94% performance rate against the department annual target of 7.5 billion. The performance of international trade receipt in 2021 was negatively affected by many factors. These include the significant increase in freight charges globally, more than 200%, high international commodity prices, increased ship handling charges, COVID-19 pandemic, high duty waivers, over 2.062 billion, fuel subsidies in excess of 325 million, and the negative impact of uncertainty and speculations around the presidential election at the time. All these factors lead to more than 35% drop in import volume of essential commodities and 5% in the corresponding values on which import tariffs have to apply. However, despite the shortfalls against the revenue targets of the year in 2021, the department performance relatively represents a nominal growth of 5% or 347 million compared to 2020. Similarly, the domestic taxes. Total revenue collection for the year stands at 5.6 billion, which represents 393.3 million or 7% excess above the annual target. This represents a nominal growth of 12% or 586.7 million when compared to 2020 annual revenue collection of 5.061 billion. The DTD, that's the domestic tax total collection, equals 44% of the total revenue collected by the GRA in 2021. Distinguished ladies, gentlemen, honorable members, the performance of the authority during the year continued to be affected by the negative impact of COVID-19, which started in 2020. This was led to a difficult start to the year in terms of collection. The unprecedented increase in freight charges, international commodity prices, foreign exchange difficulties, and the year being an election year, to a lot of speculation and uncertainty in the sight of major importers, all of which contributed to a drop in the import volume in 2021. However, despite the numerous challenges, revenue picks up from the second quarter, driven by increased receipt from fuel products and considerable reduction in duty waivers on the side of the international trade, while the domestic taxes revenue growth were driven by the significant collection of tax areas, increased collection from withholding taxes, particularly from international consultants and businesses engaged through the petroleum exploration activity, capital gain tax, stamp duties from property transaction and rental properties income tax, among others. In addition, improved tax administration through effective compliance management of state-owned enterprises and the telecom companies, increased tax audit capacity and coverage, a data margin of the third-party information, all help to drive the good revenue performance of 2021. We are aware of being the focal revenue collecting agency of government and the main contributors to the financing of the public expenditure. Thus, the GRA management and staff remain ever committed to ensuring that the authority continue to play its rightful role in the mobilizations of the revenue, the required financial resources for government to realize its development aspirations for the country. Thus, the authority continue with its ICT-based modernization of the tax system to achieve a greater efficiency in customs and tax administration. As part of the current strategy plan, the authority is upgrading from the Asikuda Plus Plus to Asikuda World for a more efficient and effective administration of international trade by the Customs and Excise Department. Similarly, work is in progress to replace GAM tax net system currently used for administration of domestic taxes with a new integrated tax administration system called iTax, to be funded by the World Bank. Furthermore, management continue to invest in the professionalism of our staff and encourage a positive human values that contributes to the realization of our corporate goals of serving our taxpayers and the nation at large. The economic policies of the country and the stable political environment provide hope for the expansion of the revenue base. Therefore, tax administration efficiency, sound economic, political and trade policies, and the continuous support of development partners will determine the revenue collection horizon of the authority. The foregoing highlights the link between the performance of GRA and its internal and external environment. In pursuit of this creation of the right atmosphere for increased revenue mobilization, the authority continues to constructively engage its stakeholders within and outside of the country. We have continued on the part of engaging our friends and development partners, among them the IMF, the World Bank, African Development Bank, UNDP, AFD, WCO, GIZ, ECOWAS, ETAF, Qatar, WATAF, WTO, and WHO, in continued improvement of improving our system and procedures for effective tax administration in the Gambia, as well as sharing best practices. In conclusion, the chairperson and the members of the FPAC, as the revenue collecting body of the government, you can be rest assured that GRA management and the staffs are determined to continue facilitating the payment of taxes due to government in most conducive environment at a minimum compliance cost on taxpayers. In doing so, we will continue to solicit the support of the government and the National Assembly members in making adequate resources available in electing or amending laws that can help the GRA deliver its mandate. Finally, we want to recognize and thank government through the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs for the continuous support and encouragement. We also wish to thank in particular His Excellency the President, Mr. Adam Barrow, and his entire government for creating the enabling environment for businesses to establish and grow, for allowing the revenue administration to effectively function without interference. Mr. Chairman, the success story of GRA has been due to not only the hard work, commitment and dedication of staff and the board members, but also due to the support of the honorable members of the National Assembly, who have over the years quickly considered and passed revenue laws and amendments brought before them. We are very grateful for all the supports that have been given to us over the year, and I thank you all for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, indeed, the Consular General summarized the entire report. And I thank you for that.
Thank you. Your message was well noted.
I was thinking that you would take us page by page. No, the report is too bulky. Thank you. On that note, honorable members, it has ended the presentations, the financial statements, and the activity report for 2021. And what happens to 2022?
Yeah, 2022, we are working on it, and we've written a letter to our external auditor, external auditors, and we are waiting for them to come forward. And they've given us a date when they will come.
Honorable, can you remind them of the resolution?
No, I think they are fine.
They are fine.
Well, you know now, if you don't prepare your budget, your audit account 2020, your budget will fail.
Okay.
So no money. So that's it. So what you are talking about 2022. So you are fine.
Talking about 2022.
Yeah. So you are fine. So you are fine.
You are fine. You are fine.
Thank you. Thank you.
So on that note, before we adjourn, we have scheduled GRA to come on Wednesday. Unfortunately, we have received communication for an extraordinary session. That means we will reschedule GRA for the consideration, and the new date will be communicated to you.
Chairperson, are you saying Wednesday is not possible?
Yeah, it's not possible for now.
Okay.
It's not possible.
Okay, I just want to make an appeal to you and the honorable members that if you decide to call us, let's have it at least maybe 2 days before time. Knowing very well that the responsibility that you have given us, we are involved in this collection, and which is really heavy, and the responsibilities are very high over there. So people doing so many. So if it is short, it always gives us a problem. Short notice. So if at least minimum 2 days will be fine.
That's what I'm about to remind the clerk about.
Yeah.
The committee will, as soon as we enter this, the committee before we leave will decide on the date.
Yeah.
And then it will be duly communicated to you as soon as possible.
Thanks.
Honorable members, on that note, can any honorable member move that? We are adjourned the sitting until tomorrow 10 a.m. Not for GRA.
Okay.
Second, it has been moved and seconded that we adjourn the sitting to tomorrow 10 a.m. Those in favor, please say aye. And those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. On that note,
No one said aye.
no one said aye. So we stay. The sitting starts adjourned until tomorrow 10 a.m. Thank you very much, honorable members. SMS and GRA.
Thank you.